Alright guys, welcome to another One Rotor video. In this video we're going to begin making the chassis modifications. We need to get the transmission mounted and the engine mounted. In addition to that, we're going to finish the intake like bracket plenum thing. Not the plenum yet, but the thing for the double throttle bodies. And then at the end of the video we're going to go over what's standing in our way between right now, this moment, and first start. So we have a lot of stuff to do, and you guys are going to see even more stuff that we have to do, and we explain that. But we have a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, let's just get to it. We got a lot of stuff to do.
Tons of stuff. Okay, so one of the first modifications we have to make to the chassis is on the shell itself. There's too much fiberglass in the back here.
Too goddamn much.
This is for like putting the soft top, right? Like down in here.
Yeah, it's like supposed to be like the rear parcel shelf or something. I don't know what they're trying to do with it.
We don't need it, and it makes it so Sam can't fit in it at all because we can't move the seat back far enough. And it's also going to hinder our roll bar installation. So James is going to solve all that right out.
That's the goal.
Jump on it.
It's still so solid. How? It's all cut out.
There it goes. Okay, so now that we've got that cut out, this thing obviously needs some sort of roll hoop to not kill the driver when it's doing.
Needs roll protection.
So let's walk over here. We'll show you what we've come up with.
All right, so we've got this huge steel like truss that rides on these rear frame members. What we're thinking of doing is just building like a box section that comes off right here in the corners and juts back to maybe close to the edge of the fender opening. That way we can run the roll hoop up back here to maximize the amount of seat room so we can fit that 6'6" giant that we work with in this thing.
This should actually be a pretty easy fabrication job.
Yeah, should be pretty straightforward. The hardest part's gonna be bending the tube, but we don't have to do that by hand.
Alright, there it is, boys. Got some nice welded in platforms that are really thoroughly never going fucking anywhere. Now we need to bust out the old tubing bender.
Tube! Get it done.
And get her done.
So this first bend we're doing is this middle guy right here is 120 degrees. Keeping it easy with a 120 degree bend and two 30 degree bends on either side. I should probably put the angle finder on there first, but fuck it.
Looking good.
Straight.
Looks pretty straight to me.
One of these sturdies is not quite perfect on the same plane, but it's close enough, makes no difference. Tack welded on for now, just to get an idea of it. You can see fits the contour of the seat real nice. Seat's obviously not permanently mounted. We need to come up with a seat mounting solution for that, but these bends are just about the perfect height. If we get a harness bar that is right about level with the bottom of that bend, we'll have a slight downward angle, which is preferable. Looks like with where this is gonna mount, we might try to pull the seat back slightly, just for me, because I am too fucking tall.
Okay, so right here the mic cut out, but basically what they're talking about is the enforcement that needs to go into this, like triangulation bars and whatnot, to prevent the roll hoop from squashing your head like a watermelon, similar to how a mousetrap works. It's gonna need a lot more enforcement, and there's a lot that's gonna need to go into this to make it safe. But with enough tubing, anything's possible. So we have one more thing to do in this video, and that is the intake kind of thing, I don't know, the intake bracket to adapt the throttle body. So that's gonna get fabbed up, and then we'll talk about what's preventing first start at this point. Okay, so this is what the completed intake manifold looks like, minus, you know, the plenum that's going to be over here, but that's going to be for actually piping up the turbo and the intercooler and whatnot. But as far as just bridging the throttle bodies to the engine itself goes, this is what we got. It was cut out on the CNC, which has been so freaking useful so far. Made this thing really nice looking, and that would have taken much longer. And then this is just some CX Racing China tubing. Actually welded great. You can see everything's pretty clean. It didn't warp too much, and we're actually really happy with how that came out. And you can see there's a decent amount of airspace between the turbo and this. With just like a turbo blanket, maybe a heat shield, it'll be fine. So excited for how this came out. Now we can get to talking about what we actually need to do to get this thing making brap noises. Okay, so we're gonna talk about what separates us right now from first start. You can see the list right here, but I'll talk about that. Pretty much, right now, we're going to be doing everything that we need to do to the chassis, all the reinforcements that we talked about. We're gonna tie in the roll bar, and the end game is to just weld that entire body to the pan itself. That's gonna give us the most structure, it's gonna give us the most rigidity. There's a lot that goes into that though. We gotta do the roll bar, the door bar, all the bars, the dash bar. There's a lot of fabrication that goes in. So our plan is to film all of that and put it in montage form. And then obviously we have things like fuel plumbing. We gotta put the injectors in the intake manifold that we made. We have to install the fuel tank. It's gonna need cooling. It's gonna need the steering wheel, brakes, all of that stuff. But if we put this into blocks and we work really hard, we're probably only about 2 or 3 videos away from actually hitting first start. As you guys saw earlier today in the video, how long and how in depth it can take to just make 2 mounts for something like a roll bar. James and I made that. Sam designed it on the computer. We cut it out with the plasma cutter. There's a lot that goes into fabrication. So we've planned out like 2 really long days where we're just gonna come in and get all this stuff done. We'll try to film it in as much detail as possible and then edit it down into like a consumable montage where you guys won't get bored. But I think that a week and a half, 2 week between right now and first start is definitely possible. We just have a ton of stuff to do. Hopefully today the transmission will be in here, all the fabrication will be done on the pan. We've planned out a 12-hour day, so we're gonna get into that. Drop this video right now, and while you guys are watching this, we'll be hard at work on the pan itself, doing all of those modifications. If there's anything in particular that you like to see, like really in depth, so around my neck is the wiring harness. This is Mega Squirt 3. We are custom wiring this car because it's a car that has not ever been built by a factory or anything like that, so everything's custom. If you guys want to see anything in more detail than just a montage, leave that in the comments. We'd be happy to jump more depth into something like that. But we have our list. We're gonna get working on that and finish up this video right now. All right, guys, it's gonna wrap up this one. We are moving directly from this ending to working our asses off on that pan, trying to get this thing to be ready to start. It's very exciting. A lot of work on our way, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of work lined up, but one of the big things about that is getting everything that we need, and we have done a good job of getting that. We have everything we need. Now it's just putting in the hours, and we're totally prepared to do it.
We've spent all the money because we don't have any sponsors. Anyways, Devin's gonna pick a winner for this video's giveaway. If you guys aren't familiar, we give away products from boostedshades.com every single video, and even if you don't win, that's the best way to support us, so please check out boostedshades.com.
All right, this video's winner is Jake Parrott.
All right, hit us up at Teamboosted at boostedshades.com or through any of our social media platforms. We'll get back to you and ship you something. If you guys want to win, all you got to do is like, subscribe, leave a comment. The comment could be anything, but we do ask you guys questions at the end of the video to make it a little bit easier to comment.
All right, so JP laid out in this video our plan for the two major videos that are following this, and then hopefully a first start in the third one. How likely do you guys think we are to actually hitting first start in 3 videos? I'm confident, but we want to hear from you.
3 videos or 2 weeks, you could, that's our timeline here. Yep. So leave that in the comments, guys, and you're eligible to win products from boostedshades.com.
Yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.